Hey, how's it going, everyone? Saintsfan back again with another GTA Online car review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Vigilante, the new vehicle that was added to GTA Online. This is the Batman car that everyone wants to know, is it as fun as it looks? And I'll be answering that question, going through pros, cons, and answering the question, should you buy this vehicle for $3.7 million, because yes, that is how much this vehicle costs. So you'll find it on the Warstock Cash and Carry website, and just note that you are going to need an MOC to customize this. If you want the rockets on it, if you want to change the paint job and all that, you are going to need an MOC to do all that. So if you don't have an MOC with the vehicle bay, then unfortunately, you're going to have to buy that first if you want to customize this vehicle. We'll start with the cons first, just to get these out the way. There are quite a few, although most of them aren't any major cons. They're just sort of minor cons. So number one, the price. It is $3.7 million. That's a lot of money. It's more than pretty much most of the cars. I mean, I guess it's on par with the Rocket Voltic and some of the other special vehicles, but is it ultimately worth that amount? I don't know. That is tough to answer because it is a lot. The two major cons to this vehicle, and this is what may turn people off, this thing is not a defensive vehicle. It will blow up with one explosion, whether it's an RPG, sticky bomb, gas station explosion, another rocket from the Vigilante, a homing launcher, any sort of rocket will blow this vehicle up. And that is what sucks about this vehicle. Also, the windows aren't bulletproof, so people can easily shoot you out if you were standing still. And because this vehicle blows up so easily, the part that I found the most frustrating with it is just the process of calling Moore's Mutual, then calling your mechanic and getting it back. You have to wait 5 minutes if it blows up right after you just got it. So if you're used to the oppressor, like I am, for instance, it's just something you have to deal with, because the oppressor, as we all know, you can call it instantly at any time without waiting, since it is a motorcycle. Another con is that it is somewhat hard to turn. Since it is such a big vehicle, the turning radius is quite large. You're not going to be making any sharp turns with this thing at all. Going back to the explosion part, if you accidentally blow your own Vigilante up, or if you blow up someone else's, it's going to cost you $20,000 in insurance. And then the final con, and this is a minor con, but it does kind of suck. There is only a primary paint job. You can't put a different color on, say, the little engine part in the front, like I sort of wish they would have done. But all in all, the cons aren't that bad. Really, the main one is the fact that this thing blows up very easily and that you have to call it through the mechanic. Now the pros. This has got some really awesome features. So first off, it's a Batman car. I mean, come on. Who would have ever thought at one point we'd have a Batman car in GTA Online? And because it's a Batman car, and because we have bunkers, you can have a Bat Cave with your Batman car. So if you like role-playing, or if you just like having cool stuff, then you could permanently park your Vigilante in your bunker and have a Bat Cave. Now, the biggest pro to this vehicle, the rockets are incredible. I even think they're better than the Ruiner 2000. It's sort of hard to test that, but just from my experience, it seemed like they were better than the Ruiner 2000's missiles. These things don't miss. The best part about them, and you'll notice this maybe in some of the gameplay clips, you don't even need to fully lock on before you shoot, and it'll still kill whoever you're targeting. A few times, the little lock-on reticule was only green, not even yellow, and it still took him out. So if you're looking for a vehicle that pretty much will kill anything in its way, this is definitely the vehicle you are going to want. Now, do keep in mind there are only 30 missiles, but they do replenish, I believe, if you bring it back to your garage and you basically just get out of your car and get back in, but you will run out. The rockets aren't unlimited like the Oppressor. Another interesting pro is that this vehicle is actually faster than the Oppressor and way faster than the Rocket Voltic. I haven't used the Rocket Voltic in a while, but for some reason, Rockstar completely broke that vehicle. In the little racing, tests that we did on the airport, the Rocket Voltic, using as many boosts as possible, didn't even come close to the Oppressor and the Vigilante. But you can see the Vigilante and the Oppressor basically neck and neck. The Vigilante, just because it is a little bit quicker without the boosts, it does beat the Oppressor in just this little straightaway test. But you can see, I'll even show gameplay from my perspective inside the Rocket Voltic, and I don't know what they did, but the boost just takes forever to reload. Whereas in the Vigilante, it's almost instant. Once you use the boost, in about a second or maybe two, you will have that boost back. Another amazing feature about this car is that it plows through absolutely everything in its way, especially if you use the rocket boost. Cars will go flying, and this is so much fun. If you're in a police chase and you have the police barricades, you can just plow right through them and their cars go flying. It's really fun, and it does lead to some really great little bits of gameplay. That's one thing I will say. This car just sort of transforms the way you play the game, because you really don't care about dodging people. You almost want to hit everything in your path just to see what crazy stuff can happen. And trust me, crazy stuff will happen. And that also ties in with the handling. The handling on this car, like I said, the turning radius may not be good, but the handling's not that bad, especially if you use it in combination, or if you're turning with the boost. For the most part, I could control if I made like a quick turn with the boost. Like, you make the quick turn, you get angled the right way, and then you quickly boost so you get the acceleration. It was fairly easy to do that. Yeah, you're gonna run into some problems maybe if you're going really fast, because you may lose control, but for the most part, I felt that the handling on that regards was fairly decent. Although one pro tip I will give, use the handbrake. The handbrake definitely helps a lot on this vehicle. And another thing with the whole plowing aspect, if you run into signs, light poles, like the median area, those really don't affect this vehicle. Not too many times did I run through those things and it spun my car out. Normally, when you hit those things going super fast, your car will spin out, or your car will just lose control and you go flying somewhere. That doesn't really happen to this vehicle, so that's really awesome. Another great thing, and this is wonderful for people who like to maybe be stealthy-ish, this vehicle on the map and the mini-map doesn't show up as a special vehicle. It's just a normal, plain old dot. So you could easily sneak up on someone and they won't be expecting you to have a vehicle with rockets. So unlike the Ruiner 2000 and the Oppressor, they're not going to know anything's coming towards them. So that is the list of pros and cons. Now to answer the question, should you buy it? It's a tough question to answer because the vehicle does cost so much money. Good news is that it doesn't seem to be a limited time vehicle, so you can save up money and maybe you can even wait for there to be a discount on this vehicle, but it is a very fun vehicle, I will say that. And if you have 3.7 million, I would suggest buying it if you go into it knowing that you're going to be dealing with the mechanic and Moore's Mutual a lot. I wish that Rockstar would in some way make a favorite vehicle list where we could put 5 of our favorite vehicles that aren't bikes, so we can call them through the interaction menu like we can with bikes. That would really make my complaint of having to deal with the mechanic go away, but it is something you are going to have to do since this is a vehicle and not a special vehicle. But to answer the question, I'll say, yeah, you should buy it if you have the money. If you don't have the money, I would save up and buy it because it's a very fun vehicle. It plows through stuff. It's really unique. There's not really many other vehicles. I can only think of the Duke of Death and maybe the Insurgent as the only 2 other vehicles that can plow through cars the way this thing can. And it has rockets and a rocket boost. So you do get a lot out of it. The only negative is the armor. But there you guys have it. That is my review on the Vigilante. I wonder what crazy car that Rockstar are going to think of next. I can only imagine if we had a freaking Batman car, God only knows what they are planning with the next one. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this vehicle. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Did you buy one? Did you not buy one? Thank you all for watching though. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more awesome GTA content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.